Look at that. Pretty as the fresh driven snow. What a sunset. Alrighty then. Alright. Are you ready for part 2 of carving a Bigfoot face? We have our master carved micromotor with a flame bird diamond. And I'm doing this in real time here. So we didn't speed it up any. We're going ahead and we're going to cut in that lower eyelid. Cutting in the lower eyelid and doing a little smoothing over there. Trying to get the movement of the handpiece correct. A lot of times these like to run away on you. So I'm using a light touch. I'm going to use the side of the diamond to roll that lower eyelid in. And this is actually how long it takes me to do this. So I am definitely not a speed carver. So you can see we're working that lower. I'm sneaking up on that lower eyelid. Don't want the micromotor to go crazy on me and run off, even though this is a fine diamond burr. No sense in making any extra divots in the wood than what you have to, right? So I just take it slow and easy. Sneaking on up in there, creeping on up in there. Getting that lower eyelid carved in to help bring out the orbit of the eye, I would think. Orbit. Roundness of the eye. And there's the lower bag going in. The bag, it's way off to the side there. See, I always make it a little bit bigger, and then you can sneak it up in there if you want to. Do a little more shaping. The other eye will go a lot quicker. Now I'm just using the very end of that diamond burr to create a hard line right there for the eyelid to make it stand out. Kind of separate it from the lower eyelid a little bit, or the lower bag. But you can do it however you desire. And then we'll tuck that lower eyelid in up under the upper eyelid. And that's what we're doing there. We're cutting the upper eyelid. We're letting that upper eyelid hang out a little bit beyond that. And now we're cleaning up the hairline, and we'll speed it up and go over to the other side. And do the same thing. Lower eyelid. Man, that light's bright. I'm going to have to get one of those, what do you call it, shade things to go over my light. Maybe dull it down a little bit. But when you're carving, you need as much light as you can get. So you can see. So there's our bag under the eye. And once again, I'm using the tip of that diamond to delineate the eyelid from the bag. And we'll just shape it like that. I'm looking at them. Going to draw the mouth in here. Going to give him a we're going to give him the face. Okay, now we're using the OZ Plus micromotor, or Oz Plus micromotor, with a carbide 3/32 ball or sphere burr to make the lips pop out a little bit. We're going to put teeth in this guy's mouth. So we're going to make the teeth set back into the mouth a little bit. Just like when you're doing an eye, you want to push the corners in because your teeth inside your mouth are round. They're like that U shape, like a horseshoe. I could have actually, after watching this video, I could have probably actually pushed those teeth back in a little bit more. Could have sunk the corners in a little bit deeper. Now we're using that diamond flame burr in the other micromotor, the master carve, and we are creating basically a cut line, or an undercut line, I should say. to kind of separate the teeth from the mouth. We won't be done with that yet. We're going to come back and we'll use the knife and to get some shadow. Now we're drawing the teeth in with a number 2 pencil, just like the one you used to use in school when you had to take them tests where you had to fill in the little black dots. Ah, yes, the good old days. Now we're changing that burr out, and we are putting in this little high-speed steel 3/32 cone burr. It works and it don't work because the cone is so short. You can only go in about, probably less than a 32nd. Probably you can only probably go in like 20 or 30 thousandths of an inch with this cone, and then it starts biting and wanting to run all over the place because you're beyond the cone. You're starting to get that the main shaft of it down in there. And I found the best way to use this is actually kind of turn it sideways. You don't want to use the very tip of it. Basically, the side works better. And we're using that for separating the teeth that we drew in. Cutting back in the corners there. I should have pushed them even further back. Cut them, made them more round. But it's what it is. Now we got that flame burr in there again. Cleaning up the teeth, flattening them out, rounding them over. Because your teeth aren't flat. They got a little bit of a curve to them. And then we'll push up in between the teeth at the top to create the gum line, basically. And that's what we're working on there. Man, that light is bright. Okay, now we're going to, we rolled over the top of that lip, and we're going to put the bottom lip in. Right there. And we're making it, like I said, we're going to make it a little bit big, and then we'll come back and we can push it up where it belongs. It's a little bit wide. And then we can always come back and push it back up in there where it needs to be. Rounding it over. See how we're shaping that up? And that's actually thinning that lip down. And now we're going to come in. We're going to try. Nah, I think I'm going to have to change burrs here. That flame burr just isn't wide enough for what I want to do. We're going to put in a diamond ball burr, and we're cutting in the snot trough. That's right, we're cutting in the snot trough there. The diamond round ball burr and diamond, it works good for smoothing things out and rounding things over, because we're going to come back in here and we're going to round that upper lip back with it. We're also starting to create the smile lines around the mouth with that. We're just smooth them in with it. Then we'll come back in with the flame diamond burr and give it some depth. And now what we'll do is we'll round that upper lip down so that the bottom lip kind of goes under it. So that we're giving it more roundness, barrel to the barrel of the mouth. It looks flat here, but it's not as flat as it looks on camera. I was almost worried that it was too round. Okay, and there's that flame burr. Now we're going to come back in here and we're going to cut that in deeper. Put basically a little crease right there in the corners of the mouth. Because he's like, "Arr!" So you got to have that. And see how we're carrying the top lip down further? So that the bottom lip goes a little bit under the top lip. So you don't just end up with a great big O there, right? See that? How we're pushing that bottom lip up under the corner of the upper lip. And we do a little cutting there. Okay, so that's got his teeth done. And now we're going to do some hair. And we have this, it's like a nail. Looks like a nail. Diamond burr. So that's what we're going to use to cut all the hair in with. Works pretty good. It doesn't come down to a sharp edge, but it comes down to a sharp enough edge for me. And we're going to cut right through that hair that's poking out in the front to give it wave, give it a little serration there, and we'll push it right back in there. And I hit the forehead with it, so I had to clean that up a little bit. And then across the back, we'll do the same thing. We'll make it serrated right to the back. And now let's do the other side. Same deal. Cut right through the front part of that hair to give it some serration, movement. And we don't have, because you really don't want square edges. So we're using this burr to drag through there. We're pushing it kind of deep to create the hair on this guy. Just like that. Do a little more cleanup on there. And then we're gonna keep using the same burr. We're gonna put the hair that would be running down his neck right across there. Gonna do the same thing, dig it in, make it look a little fuzzy, a little puffed out there. Clean up some of the knife marks on the bottom head. When we were cutting in there, we kind of removed some of the original hair off the bottom head. So we just went back and cut those hairs back in. We want to bring down that poof, that little flip up there. Cut it down a little bit. And then we'll do the other side. Same thing. We're going to bring it right back through there on that little poof of hair sticking out behind the face. Cut that in. Just like that. Zoomed out so you can see it better. And we'll do down there by the neck, under the chin. And now we're going to go ahead and do the facial hair, which like on dogs and bears would be a lot shorter than the hair on the body and neck. So that's what we're doing. Short hair for the face. Just like we did the other one. We didn't film the other one being carved. Getting that cut in. Just like that. It just shows you by depth control, you can use the same tool for many processes. See, we're just kind of dotting it. It gives it that effect of short hair. We're going back up into we're kind of blending the long hair and the short facial hair together. We're not giving him a mustache. We're not going to drag it all the way up to his nose. Most gorillas and chimps don't have that kind of hair on their face. So we're just going to give this guy short hair on his face and only in certain places. So once, I don't know if we're going to paint these guys or we're just going to polyshade them, or I don't know yet. I know I'm going to paint the eyes in. I was going to cut, well, maybe. I might still go back and just go ahead and use a gouge and cut the pupils in the eyes. I haven't decided on that yet. And so we're going to work that in. You'll say hi to Jordy Johnson over at Carving Fusion. Sean Brooks over at Pen on Fire. Glenn McKelvey. He doesn't have a YouTube channel. Glenn's way too busy for a YouTube channel. Kevin over at Sticks and Stones Wood Carving. The Wood Psyche. Does a lot of pine knots. Pretty talented fella. Dan Carpio, Carpio. These guys will be in the description below if you want to go visit their channels. Ben over at Studio on the Lake. Hi Ben, how you doing? Okay, we just did his eyebrows. Now we're doing some wrinkles in his forehead. See, we're just sticking with the same nail cutter, diamond wheel, whatever you want to call it thing. Inverted cone. It does have a slight taper to it. It's not perfectly flat. I do have some that are way smaller that are perfectly flat. And there he is. Give him the old brush off here. Get rid of some of that loose fuzzies from the diamond. And then we'll go ahead and hit him with some Scotch-Brite. Hi! Rrr. See, we're peeling some of the fuzz off of him. Now we got Scotch-Brite, scrub-dub-dub. We're going to wash his face with Scotch-Brite. We're going to scrub him up. Stop scrubbing my face. Rrr. But we're going to scrub him up anyway. Remember to sign your pieces. Sign your pieces. All right, all right, all right. And that's it, guys. We're coming to the end. Share, subscribe, and like. Be awesome. Carve something awesome. And we will catch you all on the next one. All right? All right. Bye-bye.